Newlands, the site of the second Castle Test match. It's day 3 of South Africa versus the West Indies.
It's a beautiful day here at Cape Town. With me, Alan Donald, and everything, Alan, for South Africa to do.
This morning, Robin, and good morning all. Darren Powell. First runs of the morning. Just be one. Powell was disappointing yesterday afternoon late, especially when trying to bowl too short. He would be looking to lift his game, but as you say, all for South Africa to play for. Interesting, it's been a tight test match. There was a time yesterday, Robin, where I thought, and I was off air, and I thought the West Indies started to bowl a bit too short. And they bowled so well after lunch, and especially Dwayne Bravo. The pitch on day 3 to Wynberg end. That's the end that Darren Powell is bowling from. A bare patch is starting to appear, but all in all, it still looks a good pitch.
I agree with you. With I think South Africa bowled a little bit on the short side as well. Talking to Mark Boucher this morning, asking him about the pitch and what's it like to bat on, he said it's virtually impossible to drive on the up. You can drive a half volley. Anything a little bit short sits up and looks at you. It's a day to die for here in Cape Town. It really is a beautiful day. Just a gentle southeaster. 25 degrees is the maximum temperature expected. Sunset just after 8 o'clock.
Wouldn't mind that though. That's going to go for 4. Fine cricket shot.
Certainly is. Beautiful drive from Boucher. That brings up the 100 partnership, the 600 South African partnership of the current season, and the first one, interestingly enough, not involving Jacques Kallis. Just beyond the half, just around about half volley, wasn't it? Hits it slightly on the up, but not much. It's regarded as a half volley. Beautifully played. Forward and just outside the line, I would say. Might have been a bit of bat involved. Not a huge appeal from Bravo himself, but the ability again to slide the ball back in. In fact, the way that he got out Hashim Amla, there it comes back in at Boucher. Doesn't hit the bat until after the pad, but well outside the line.
Nicely played shot, square cut from Ashwell Prince. He won't get 4 for it though. They're into the lead with it. South Africa, it's nicely played, that right on top of it, gets it to the ground, gets it in the gap as well. So South Africa now lead by 1 run. Was greeted with a lot of clapping. And there it is. Mark Boucher gets to 50 again. It is 27th 50. And this one will be particularly sweet because his team has been in trouble here, and they needed him to play well in partnership with Ashwell Prince. Like that. It's way too short and put away quite nicely by Ashwell Prince. End of the over. Brings up the 250 as well. 251 for 5.
That's 3 out of 4. I think he's telling him he's had 2. Oh, that's nothing. The West Indies of the 70s used to bowl 4 and over.
You were always going there.
Twice as quick again.
You were always going there.
He's not as quick as Michael Holding when he's just warming up.
You handled him, though.
I'm not sure about that. I batted against him. I'm not sure I handled him. I survived. That's 4 short balls. So they're trying to suck Prince into hooking or pulling, aren't they?
Well, that's 4 more to Mark Boucher. Thickish outside edge. South Africa looking for any lead they can get. This partnership must stay looking quite comfortable.
Well, West Indies also changed their policy after the first test. They decided to leave out Sammy. Now that's proved so far anyway to have been perhaps not the right decision. Particularly, it seemed like Fidel Edwards was carrying some sort of ankle injury into this test match anyway, so he was at risk. Well, it looked like initially quite a good shot. Mark Boucher playing across this delivery, just going over to the off stump a bit too much.
It was good thinking by Dwayne Bravo. And looked to be a little bit high. There we go, going over the stumps. It's bowled him. Dragged it on Mark Boucher. For short, he tried that shot a number of times. Succeeded only in getting a bottom edge on the ball, crashing into his middle stump.
Second time in a row in the series that he's been dismissed in this fashion. Now that ball wasn't short enough to pull. He got out hooking a bouncer in the first innings in Port Elizabeth. The second innings, this was a carbon copy of that dismissal. So shot selection, letting Mark Boucher down. He played well though. South Africa 260 for 6. Paul Harris comes to the wicket with a dismissal of Mark Boucher. This has just opened the door for the West Indies now. South Africa have a long tail. Paul Harris at number 8 is not renowned for his batting. And that's why. He's played 10 test matches, average of 7. His best was 46. That happened recently in Pakistan. He did play well there in combination with Mark Boucher.
Another look at Mark Boucher's dismissal. Bravo picking up his 4th. Not that short, just back of a length, and Boucher probably premeditated there. Gets a bottom edge. So the West Indies have finally broken this partnership.
Bravo looking for the LBW there. It was just a little bit too straight. Inside edge for 4. Valuable runs for South Africa.
And that's all he needed to do. Comfortably taken by Ranako Morton at second slip. Powell finally learns the value of pitching the ball up. And a simple catch in the end. It's up, it's swinging away. There's the outside edge. And a nice comfortable height to Ranako Morton, who makes no mistake. So the 7th South African wicket goes down. Paul Harris goes for 4. It's 265 for 7.
Van Randel comes to the wicket. I guess by his standards in Port Elizabeth, he had a reasonable test match with the bat. He got 16 in the first innings and 34 in the second. So if he can get 34 today, it'll be a very handy contribution under the current circumstances.
The single first ball of the over to expose Nell. Well, a bit of a mix-up there. All's well in the end. Nell thinking the single was there, wanting to give his senior partner the strike. Bravo was swiftly onto that and could easily, with a better throw, have been left short of his ground. Should have stopped that one. And it's raced away for 4.
It's a good shot, but desperation is required now in the field. Lewis got across, but not quickly enough to prevent this boundary.
Looks good, but he missed it. They don't look too clever. It's something that both these teams suffer from. They're both from 8 down. They're all tail enders as opposed to lower order players. There is a slight difference. I think it's okay having a tail if your top 5 and your wicket keeper are crackerjack batsmen. Then it doesn't matter so much. But when your batting sides are sort of okay, you know, pretty all right, average, then it can be very important. That's a good shot. That's what you've got to do as a tail ender. If you're not very good, hang around, and you've probably got a couple of areas where you fancy hitting the ball. I've seen him play that in the one-day matches. That's what he's got to do. You can't expect them to play like batsmen, so they've got to pick out a couple of areas where they really fancy hitting the ball, I think, and then when they get it up there, hit it. Because if they just hang around and poke around, they're going to get out. They're not that good.
It's a good stroke. Just got there. He's driven the ball well, Prince, when it's been in the slot to do so.
Well, he's selected his shots well. He's waited for the short ball. He gets this very full but wide, and he gets his foot out there to the ball. So his selection of shot and his concentration has been exemplary.
That sounds like a nick to me, and it is. It sounded like it to Russell Tiffin too. So off goes Andre Nell, pushing at a length ball outside off stump, and the 8th wicket falls.
Yeah, nice ball. Just got it on the right length and line, and he was good enough to nick it. Simple. Deserves some success. He's bowled a long time. 284 for 8. This is a good game. It's 10 aside, isn't it? Both got an injured bowler, Fidel Edwards, and he's not going to bowl. Staines not going to bowl. 10 aside.
They say that Steyn is going to bowl. He's going to come out and bowl, but he's only going to. There's actually an email here. There's somebody asked a very simple question: is it really worth bowling Steyn in the second innings? Does he run the risk of more seriously injuring himself and therefore jeopardising his availability for the Durban Test? I think they've made up their minds that he's not going to play in the Durban Test anyway because of the injury, so he can just break down. Well, that's.
I bet Sean Pollock's hoping he breaks down.
That's it.
That's
He'd like to play in Durban.
Yeah, he certainly would. It's the end of a tidy over. It's 108 overs gone, 284 for 8. Just a little thin edge. This shows that this is how you bowl at tail enders, no differently than you would bowl at numbers 1 to 6, length, off stump, in the channel. They'll nick them. They might take longer to nick them because they're not so good, but they'll nick them. As soon as you bowl straight, tail enders who learnt to bat a little bit tend to score off you.
Straight up in the air. Is it going to reach the man? No, it's not. He slowed down towards the ball and therefore didn't get to it. It's Darren Sammy, and he puts his head down. Well, one of those reasons will be because it's Ashwell Prince, but there's another reason. 5 wickets for Dwayne Bravo. It would have been. Looks to go on the pull shot here. Top edge and straight up. Should have got there.
Well, he slowed down at the last minute, Darren Sammy, just totally misjudged that, and in the end didn't get a hand on it.
Not so sure Dwayne Bravo would accept it, especially seeing as he's gone for 4 there. And of a productive over for Ashwell Prince. It's 299 for 8. It's not so long ago that the ball wouldn't run to the boundary from that shot. It wouldn't run from some that were blazed towards the boundary through the gap.
I was having a look at the ground staff this morning cutting the outfield for me, and the quantity of grass cuttings I saw at the end of that operation suggested to me that it wasn't one day's growth.
300 is up for South Africa. They'll be happy, and they would have been helped, no doubt, by what you're talking about. The fact that the ball has rolled to the boundary a bit more often and a bit more easily.
No, my question is there a regulation regarding the cutting of the outfield? We could see that the grass was obviously a lot longer on the first day, and today we can see that it's a lot shorter. The ball is getting to the boundary a lot easier. The outfield is quicker. I really wonder if there's some sort of regulation, because it seems fairly irregular to me.
Shouts of 2. I'm not sure he'll be able to get back for 2. It'll be tight, this. He's gone. He's definitely gone. He is definitely gone. He has run back for 2. He set off. He felt that the ball was wide of the man. It wasn't. It spun towards the man just a touch. And so an error in judgment there by Ashwell Prince. The fielding pretty good. Jerome Taylor gets the throw in. The dive comes in from Ashwell Prince, but is out of his ground. Way short. Misses out on 100. Run out for 97. Well, 98 because he was going back for the second. But no doubt whatsoever there. Umpire Taufel went upstairs. It was just as a precaution, just in case, but he was miles out. There you go, there's confirmation. South Africa have lost another wicket. They've lost Ashwell Prince. He played so well, deserved to get to 100, but his error in judgment meant that he missed it by just 2. Well done anyway. 301 for 9. .301 for 9, South Africa. Makayandini comes to the wicket. A lead of 58. They want just a bit more, as much as they can get. 32 not out is Makayandini's best. be a good time to get that. A good time to get 50. Each of a delivery. Why isn't he bowled that at the mainline bowl, the batsman, the top order?
Well, that's the question we'll forever be asking ourselves. And this is the run out again. Deciding to take two, and a bullet of a throw from Jerome Taylor right over the sticks, and Ramden does the rest. And a outstanding innings from Ashwell Prince. Falls short of his 100, but it's been very important in the South African cause.
Another good delivery. He worked really hard, Ashwell Prince, didn't he? Worked so hard yesterday. It was tough. He didn't time a whole lot yesterday, and when he did, some of the time it didn't go off to the outfield or through the outfield to the boundary.
Well, that's 4. Bill Stein playing his natural game. Top edge over third man, over slip rather, for 4. But if the average first innings, I keep saying first innings, the average opening partnership is less than the lead, you can reasonably expect that the team batting is going to lose a wicket before the lead is knocked off, maybe 2. So that gives significance to, I would say, a lead of this size.
That's a top shot. He's given himself room, and he's got that right out the middle of the bat. Right out the middle of the bat, appreciated by the crowd. Your point, this is hurting the West Indies.
Yes, it is. It's a good shot. He's hit straight back down the ground. He's gotten enough on it to get it to the boundary, even on this slow outfield.
Dale Steyn made some runs in county cricket, first for Essex when he played there a couple of years ago. Made a few big scores there actually, and played of course for Warwickshire last season, so he's got the ability to get a few. Is he going to catch it this time? Yes, he does. Up in the air, the change works. The wrist spinner is successful. Lewis picks up his second ever wicket in Test cricket, so he'll be a happy man.
Well, the lead is 78. He went for the boundary. There's no doubt he went for a sixer. He didn't take long to look at the ball, did he? 2 balls, that's all it took. Straightforward catch, has to be taken, but I mean, he could have just had a little bit more look at the bowling before he tried to slog him out of the park. But bowlers batting don't think like batsmen. That's if they think at all. 320 A1, yeah, pretty good that. Lead of 78, that's good too. So it's up to the bowlers now. They've got an opportunity here to knock 2 or 3 over and really grasp the game by the scruff of the neck.
South African batting lineup there, lots of starts all the way down. Ashwell Prince played beautifully. He worked very hard for his 98, deserved 100. Was unlucky not to get there. Mark Boucher played well as well, so in the end South Africa had to work hard for their runs, but they got there. They've got the lead that they wanted. Partnerships, one significant one between Prince and Boucher. That's what turned the game in South Africa's favour. They were in all sorts of trouble at that stage, but the two of them played very well together. Dwayne Bravo was the star of the show. He bowled superbly for the West Indies. Other good contributions from Taylor. Powell not at his best, but picked up 2 wickets in the end, so I guess the West Indies will be reasonably happy. Could have been a lot better for them, but they bowled them out in the end, which is what they wanted to do. So South Africa lead by 78. Well, we've got Ganga there, so he was always down to open. Gale.
Gale's not there. I can't see him, can you?
No, at the moment I can't. So Ramden has come out.
Well, I don't understand that, because he'd be the one player, if I was captain of South Africa, I'd be wary of. People bowling with the new ball, lots of gaps, because they're going to have slip, lots of gaps, and he can destroy you in no time. He could knock off that lead in about an hour, and he could put you on the back foot and take away the initiative from you. He would worry me, so I wouldn't be worried about Ramden. I wouldn't be worried about anybody else. They'll play their own game. They may play well, but they're not going to take the initiative from you quickly. Which means, from South Africa's point of view, unless they bowl badly, they should be able to exert some control. Whether they get wickets or not, we'll wait and see. But at least if you can keep control of the game, it's going to take them a while to knock off the lead.
South Africa also making a change. Dale Steyn clearly not bowling. Andre Nel taking the new ball in his absence. Ganga didn't get runs in the first innings. Played well in Port Elizabeth. He was pretty solid down there. Got a good delivery from Dale Steyn when he was caught behind in the first innings. Well, Graham Smith won't be happy with that. Real loosener by Andre Nel down the leg side.
Well, he's the sort of bowler that would just worry me a bit with Andre Nel, because I want him to keep his cool. South Africa have clawed themselves to a lead, and I want him to bowl sensibly with the new ball, not get carried away and excited, because he's obviously a very excitable lad. Likes to chatter a lot and be saying less talking, better bowling. That's it. Get the ball in the right area often enough. Create problems for the batsman. What a corker of a delivery. As Fred Truman would have said to him, that were wasted on thee, lad. A better batsman might have nicked it.
Just that movement off the seam, angling in through the air and moving away off the seam. Pretty difficult to play.
It's a comfortable crowd. There's a half-hearted catch it, and Nel not interested. Off the pad.
Well, standing in front of the stumps, there was reason to appeal for that. Passed pretty close enough. But from behind, it's a bit clearer that that came off the thigh pad.
Beautiful, beautiful delivery. Getting frustrated now. He must just hold himself together. Talking of England, and as a wicket keeper, many wicket keepers touring there for the first time have struggled a little bit with the ball dipping on them and things. Did you find that when you first toured England?
Oh, certainly. The atmospheric conditions in England tend to make the ball do a lot of stuff. Mostly when it passes the stumps, and you have to sort of make your decisions a little later in England in terms of especially standing back to really quick stuff.
A couple have just moved into the commentary box. Alan Donald is with Tom and Bangla.
Thank you, Jackers. Once again, past the outside edge.
I don't think anyone was sure about that one, but it's high-class bowling from Andre Nel and Mackay Antini. And a makeshift opening batsman is having all sorts of trouble. Ramden, can't believe it. Oh, he's still there. Runs are hard to come by right now with this new ball. That'll go for 4. What's that come off? Pad? Yeah.
He's trying to go too straight now, isn't he? He's bowled some really good balls and pitched on about off straightened and gone past the outside edge. Hasn't found the edge now. Maybe looking for a magic ball. That's going to pitch on leg, and Snowy's is going to go back from there to the off stump.
This whole spell so far is getting the ball to swing away. Just a little bit of shape and also decking a tiny bit. That one was too straight and it did nip back, and by the time it struck the pad, Boucher was left for dead. So Ramden fighting hard here.
Groundhog Day.
That's a Jaffa, really is a Jaffa. Fuller. And good seam position and just holding. Look at this. Just holding its own, playing the wrong line, and there's nothing you can do, there's nothing Ramden can do. Nell has just got to hold his nerve, that's all. She's got to keep plugging away. Yep, Boucher saying it's a nicer day as well.
That is going to be off the pad and gone for 4 once again. So 4 leg byes. I'm sure, Mr. Speedster, you'd have been in this situation, bowling at somebody and just unable. Every time sort of going at off goes past the edge. As soon as you try and go at the stumps, doesn't work out either. What to do? South Africa bowled 13 overs with this new ball, and the job that's being done by the 2 that are out there, well, you know, I've heard it said, they say get the shine off the ball, don't they? But also, the bowlers get a bit tired from running up and bowling. Here's Steyn again. It's a good delivery, very good delivery. Swings it. That's his asset. But hey, dear me, I suppose we have to leave off that because we can't really get an answer. He's running up. No worries. Well, some worries with the hammy. But able to get through his action, no trouble. It must take a whole heap of strain when you run up to bowl because you've got to charge in. There's no option.
Well, I'm sure the West Indies dressing room will be asking the same question.
Definitely. It's a good shot, that. The outfield's better. It's quicker. So not going to be catching too many as you chase after them if they've been timed well. 4 to Ramden.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. Maybe also looking for that glory ball, just coming a little bit straighter. It was shaping, but it was over-pitched. Lovely shot, straight past, and Ramden releases the pressure somewhat.
Shot on the pads. It's a long boundary that side. So just 3. It's just different, isn't it, when it's at 130? Bit more time for the batsman to make a decision. It must be frustrating for guys who are fast bowlers when the pace goes out. Not as much as they used to be, and you run up and it's the same brain.
Yeah, you almost feel like you're not a threat, you know, and there's no question what we're seeing here is that the ball is swinging late because the ball's at 130. Smashed. That might go for 4, and it does. Throws a bat at it. Ramden. And takes his chance, and a welcome boundary.
Always going away from him. Starts wide, swings away a bit, and the arms can be freed. He doesn't get all of that. He's looking to hit it a bit straighter than that.
Crowd have enjoyed their cricket today. It's been a good crowd in. It's been a good test match as well. There's a fanatical fan. He won a trip to London. Andrew Richards, there he is, very happy, celebrating his prize, going to London. Why not?
Went to a lot of trouble, Andrew. Even had his gear bag with him. With sundry items depicting his love of his team.
Good shot, firmly struck through mid-on. Should be 3 and is. Dale Steyn doing the chasing there, sore hamstring and all.
He's been patient, Darren Ganga. He's left a lot of deliveries and has played very correctly to the ones that he's been able to get away. Well, that's a solid shot. Was short and sat up for Ramdin and got the treatment.
That was an excellent shot. Short and wide. Ramdin bounced on this one. He was into position beautifully. Got on top of the bounce and played the square cut to perfection. That'll do him the world of good.
Does play his shots, Dinesh Ramdin. Sometimes indiscriminately, but there was certainly nothing wrong with that.
Second boundary over. It wasn't in complete control of this one. Got the top edge, but it was safe enough. Running down to find leg for the second boundary of the over.
This is rather uncharacteristic of Mackay Ntini. Doesn't normally react like this when he's hit for 4. A short pitch ball, and again, as we've seen so many times in this test, the ball's sitting up long enough for the batsman to get it away safely.
Good running there. Frustration for Mackay Ntini. 10 runs off the over. 50 comes up for West Indies. 22 overs gone. 50 without loss.
Well, he's gone over the top with this one. Square the wicket. Didn't appear to try to keep it down. He just looked at the room he was given and threw the bat at it. He's got himself 4 runs, Dinesh Ramdin.
Well, we said a little while ago that something's got to give, and certainly it has, because the previous over went for 10. The very next ball of this over, or the previous over from the Wynberg end, went for 10. The very next ball from that end goes for another boundary. So Ramdin has just got a little bit of momentum going in his innings.
The South Africans just going on the defensive a little bit. They realise that every run they're not getting the breaks. Got 3 in the covers. Ball. Another good ball, but didn't nick it. Sorry, can't have that. Bad luck.
It's interesting. Callis was a lot keener than Boucher. Boucher normally throws the ball 30 miles into the air when he's absolutely convinced, but there's nothing that convincing about Boucher. Callis was more convinced. It's cut away straight to backward point. Prince, the fielder, fell just 2 short of 100, misjudged the second run.
Well, that's strange. That very good shot there that went straight to the fielder. It's got Jack Callis to signal to Smith at first slip to put the man back on the boundary. Yep, he's gone all the way back, 3/4 way back now. Bowled, bowled, bowled. Eventually, that was a corker. I tell you, that would have got a lot of people out. No disgrace in getting out to that. Young Ramdan's done very well. 32 runs as a makeshift opener. He's nothing to be embarrassed about or ashamed. This is a cracker of a delivery, and he's done very well.
Just fancied it somehow. Just the previous over, he'd bowled so many in the right place. And eventually he's justly rewarded. Ramdan goes for a patient 32. And West Indies have lost their first wicket, trailing by 19. Runako Morton, very different number 3, different type of number 3 player that the ones that Mr. Boycott on my left has been watching over the many years and playing alongside and against.
Well, that's what worries you. A number 3 who averages 23 in Test cricket. Sorry, he's vulnerable. Particularly outside off stump, he likes to get forward and throw the bat at the ball. Not caress it, throw the bat at the ball if it's up there outside off stump. But you know you've got a problem in Test cricket if one of your prime places, number 3, averages 23. This is the wicket. I mean, that's just a good ball, isn't it? I mean, you talk about the lad could do this and could do that, but I mean, that's a good length ball. It's right in the corridor of uncertainty that makes you wonder, shall I play it, shan't I? It leaves him a bit. No, it's just a very good ball.
Oh, hello. It's hit the batsman, otherwise it was 5. There's no one backing it up. Well, there's no one there to back it up. Closes it down.
There was a yes-no there, wasn't there? A stutter, that was the problem. There always is with run-outs when one wants to go and the other one doesn't, and then finally they do go. You know that there's a good chance of a run-out.
The laws and with runners and stuff like that, how can it be right that a bloke comes into bat with a runner which indicates that he has an injury that stops him running? Here's that near run out again. Pollock didn't miss by much, let me tell you, not by much. He comes in at number 10 with a runner because he can't run, you presume. And an hour later, he's running in bowling 140 k's an hour. Out. Just like that.
Well, if he's only got one leg, he wants to keep on bowling. That's all I can say. If he gets wickets, if you're his captain, you say, you keep going. You're not going back to the dressing room, young man. Beautifully bowled, just left him. Watch the ball, it just left the batsman off the pitch, and the footwork was poor. It was nowhere near the pitch or length of the ball. Yeah, well, I said, can't average 23 in Test cricket and bat number 3 and expect to have a successful career. 60 for 2.
Marlon Samuels then coming in at number 4. South Africa, having worked really hard with no success, have suddenly knocked over 2, and the West Indies are still in a deficit situation by 18 runs. Samuels, who's shown a great deal of patience on this tour so far. .94 in the first innings in Port Elizabeth. 40 in the second.
And 51 in the first innings here. Little bit of fortune.
Yes, it was a moral victory for the bowler. But watch Samuels, how he relaxes his grip. He doesn't push hard at it. He's beaten. As he's playing the ball, he suddenly realises he's beaten and he just holds the bat. He could have kept on pushing there hard and it may well then have carried to slip. He just stops his shot there.
Ooh, a little bit aerial, but it's flown down towards third man and will run away for 4.
Beautifully bowled. Just got the batsman reaching for it, didn't he? Ganga couldn't resist. Just feeling for it a little too far outside off stump. Oh, that's beautiful stuff. Nothing for it except 4 runs to the batsman.
Yeah, he's probably had a couple already. I wouldn't want to be him in that suit. He's been wearing it all day. He's going to London in July sometime, I think it is.
There's a big shout. It's not out that though. The sound is one off the pad, and umpire Simon Tuffle's pretty good. He's not convinced then, so gives it not out.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great delivery, but it almost hitting the foot, really. He's had a look back, Samuels, and immediately Boucher not throwing that ball that convincingly. Yep, missed it quite comfortably. And brilliant decision by Simon Toffel. Jacques Callis steaming in. Oh, dearie me. Beautiful delivery. Pitched up full, and Samuels' eyes lit up. And he's got it through the gap for 4.
They just shouted about it. Make it -3 for 3. And Marlon Samuels goes for the drive. He's going to get 4. They all count, but the heart would have been in the mouth.
Cheney back into the attack from the Weinberg end. Pretty good move this from Smith. Got about as much as he's likely to get out of Steyn for the afternoon, and injured Steyn. Cheney bowled very tidily up front. Of 5 maidens, and his next 3 overs went for 16.
Yes, he's found the spot. He wants to pitch the ball on this pitch, and he's been living there.
Bowled him! First ball of the spell, Ganga goes. Just found a gap between the inside edge and the pad. The ball smashes into middle stump.
Well, he fought hard, Darren Ganga. It's a fuller delivery. Tries to play that ball a little bit too square, and Ntini sneaks it between bat and pad. Hits the stumps. Darren Ganga has gone for 22. The West Indies 81 for 3. Well, Shivnarine Chanderpaul comes to the wicket with a big job to do. Impressive career he's had, and he's been the most consistent of the West Indian batsmen for some years now. But he's come into a situation where the West Indies basically have 3 runs on the board. They've lost 3 wickets, and this is how Darren Ganga went. Tried to play a bit too square, I reckon. And left that gap. Ball angled in, didn't seem to do a lot. got right through the gate and hit that off stump. Well, make that 8. Beautiful shot from Marlon Samuels.
One of the toughest shots in the book to play, the on drive, just on the on side of the stumps between mid-on and the bowler. Tini helps the shot to be played a little bit because of the angle that the ball is coming in. But, the execution is superb. Wonderful timing too.
That's nicely done. Got right inside it, Shivnaran Chandrapal, and just clipped it down to fine leg. So it's 4 to him. The West Indies lead goes up to 12. And that ball wasn't pitched that much on the stumps. He moved right across his wicket. Got well outside off stump. And just worked it away with a natural angle.
Big decision here. It's out. It's out. He's fallen right over Marlon Samuels and tried to play that onto the onside. And Andre Nell has made the breakthrough.
Well, I don't think this was a difficult decision when we see it again. It's fairly full and he gets tangled up with his feet. His feet are going nowhere. He just shuffles onto the crease, then he plays back. I don't think it's too difficult. I know he angles it in, but that ball hasn't got far to go when it hits him on the back foot, actually. It's not got far to go. They're definitely going to shout for that. And I can see why the umpire gave him out. He just made a real big mistake with his footwork. And footwork is the key to good batting. 93 for 4.
They need a captain's innings from him. The boat's being rocked. Just 15 ahead. They get another one here, South Africa. They'll feel well on their way.
Well, this is awkward for Gale. I mean, normally he's a free stroke playing player. He's got 15 minutes to bat. I wonder how he'll play. Will he play his natural game, trying to play shots? This is the wicket. You see how Samuels got over. He sort of fell over. He got too far over offside. He fell then over to the off as the ball's nipping back, and he just got tangled up with his feet. Well, that was the over. Really, not just disappointing. I mean, I think there were 4 out of the 6 he didn't have to play. And you want him to bowl at Gale. He's your fastest, your best bowler, he's your #1 bowler. You know that Gale's their most threatening batsman. You had a chance there to put him under pressure. Made it easy for him. It's been a good day for South Africa, though. In the end, they've definitely, well, more than edged it. They've got themselves into quite a good position through the batting of the 2 batsmen and then the bowling at the end.
So this is the state of the game.